Hello guys, and welcome to something that I haven't done before, which is a book review. It's not technically a book review because I'm not really gonna review it, I'm just gonna talk about it, and this isn't actually a book. It's a special rehearsal edition script of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is a play, by the way, that I haven't seen. I got the script basically yesterday, and I read it yesterday. You know, it's a script, it's not a book, so it's really easy to read. But before I go into this book, I'm gonna say book even though it's a script, you know, it's just easier to say it. Before I go into this book, let's just talk about Harry Potter in general. I love Harry Potter. I've read the books like at least 4 times each, you know, all of the books, and I've seen the movies even more than that. I even have fucking wands, you know, haha, this is a special occasion, so I thought why not bring them. The 7th Harry Potter book ended with basically a 19 years later, showcasing that Harry and Ginny has kids, everybody has kids, everybody lives fucking happily ever after. When I read it, the whole 19 years later, I didn't really like it. I don't really like when books and movies do, you know, these time skips and just like, don't worry guys, everything is totally fine. This takes place basically in that scene, in the 19 years later scene, and then we fast forward. This whole thing begins at King's Cross Station, and we follow on from there with Albus. Not the other kids, because fuck them. James and Lily and Rose, the children, they're in this script like 3 scenes maybe. Like they do not have a lot to do. No, this is all about Albus and Scorpius. Scorpius is Draco Malfoy's son. Going into this script, I already, you know, made it clear in my mind, no, this is not a book, this is a script for a play. I was a bit disappointed reading this script because I felt story-wise, this isn't really the best story ever, which makes me feel like I should have seen the play. It's not the same reading a script as watching it, because a play is a very visual medium, and just based on the description about what supposedly happens and everything, I was just like, I really want to see how the hell do we pull that off in a play, you know? So I feel like that's why this play has gotten like such stellar reviews, because of the spectacle of it. But reading it, you only have, you know, the story. It's a story, alright? Okay, let's begin. Now I'm gonna go into spoilers. If you haven't seen the play, which many people haven't, and if you haven't even read the script, you might want to stay away now. Or if you don't care, you just want to know what's happening in the book. Albus and Scorpio, they meet on the Hogwarts Express and they become instant friends, which many people would find convenient, but trust me, there are a lot more convenient stuff happening in this book than just like Draco's and Harry's son being friends. James, Harry's oldest son, he's in Gryffindor. Rose is put in Gryffindor. Scorpio's put into Slytherin because he's a Malfoy and all Malfoys are evil. And then the big shocker twist, something that Albus was afraid was gonna happen, he's put into Slytherin. And I'll be honest, when I read that, I was just like, what's happening? I didn't know about this. They do something that I didn't expect. I thought we were just gonna follow them during like their first year, but no, we have enormous like time skips. We skip through like the entire first year, then we skip for like the entire second year. I think they're either in their 3rd or 4th year during like the meat of this actual story, which caught me off guard because I was just like, well, what happened during the years? Apparently, Albus and Scorpio are bullied as fuck. They are huge losers and they don't like Hogwarts at all. Harry turned to Hogwarts as a safe haven. Harry loved Hogwarts, which is something that Albus doesn't share. Albus can't play Quidditch, he's not in Gryffindor, and he doesn't really like Hogwarts because he can't live up to the shadow that is Harry Potter. So he's friends with Scorpio. I'm gonna talk more about them later though, because there are some things that I want to address. Now, adult Harry and adult Draco, I really like them. It's really fun to see Draco Malfoy being like, not a dick. He just wanna keep his son safe. And then Harry is a dick, basically, in this. He doesn't really know how to talk to Albus, because Albus is so different than James and Lily. Harry's just like, my son is a loser, what do I do? It's like, well, no, not really. Harry works for the Minister of Magic, as does Hermione, and Hermione doesn't even work there, she's the fucking, like, the minister. I was just like, oh, you go, girl. And then I'm pretty sure Ron works at the joke shop that Fred and George started. Let's get back to the story. Okay, so 3 years, like, time jump, which is a bit jarring. Oh yeah, and there was this whole bullshit thing about like, oh, Draco Malfoy couldn't have a child with his wife who I don't remember the name of, but he couldn't have a child, so he took a time turner, and then he went back in time to fuck Voldemort or something. And Draco Malfoy's son, Scorpius, he's the child of Voldemort. I was just like, ooh, because Rose, she says that in like the first 10 pages of this. I'm just like, that is too much exposition, and if that's true, I'm gonna throw this book away, because that would be fucking dumb. Luckily, it didn't happen, because that would be fucking... It's just rumors because, you know, the Malfoy name is a bit tarnished. But speaking of time turners, Amos Diggory, Cedric Diggory's father, comes to Harry because he is pissed. He wants Harry to use a time turner to go back in time to save Cedric Diggory, because Cedric Diggory didn't have to die in the Goblet of Fire. No, because Voldemort even said, kill the spare. So he died for nothing. By the way, he's been dead for 22 years. Dad, get the fuck over it. At least that's what I thought in the beginning, and then later it makes a bit more sense as to why Amos Diggory is so like pushy against it. Amos also has a niece called Delphi, and she also wants Cedric back, because you know it's not fair that people die because of Harry. It's all Harry's fault. Harry's a dick. And basically what happens, Albus says fuck it to the school year, and he and Scorpius travel to Amos Diggory, who lives in like a retirement home with, you know, he's being taken care of by Delphi. Basically, they're gonna go into the ministry, and they're gonna take a time turner, and then they're gonna fucking go back in time 22 fucking years, and they're gonna save Cedric Diggory. That's basically the story in this. If you think that sounds ridiculous, let's go back in time and save Cedric Diggory. It's fucking ridiculous. This is a story about magic, wands, wizards, witches. As soon as you have time travel to this extent. This book is basically Goblet of Fire and X-Men Days of Future Past. This is a time traveling adventure. I was not prepared for that at all. I was just like, as soon as I read it, I was just like, oh, please don't go in time. Please just let the whole child of Voldemort be rumors. Please don't actually do that with Cedric Diggory. But fuck it, they do it. They go back in time, then they go to the normal time, because they can only be there for 5 minutes, which is a limitation, apparently. And when they come back, they basically created an alternate reality where things have changed, and basically they're stuck in this alternate reality for a while, because Harry says, you can't see Scorpius, you can't see the love of your friendship life. What happens then is a montage of them like walking past each other, but they can't talk to each other, which I'll get back to that later. But yeah, and then they go back to like the second tournament, they in the water, and then they fuck up Cedric Diggory so that he can't win, because they think like if he's not in the Triwizard Tournament, he will be saved. But then what happens when Albus and Scorpio comes back? Only Scorpio comes back, everything is fucked. This is like a nightmare scenario. Hogwarts has like concentration camps in the dungeons for mudbloods, they're torturing them, like, and that sounds fucking cool. I was just like, oh, that sounds awesome. Dolores Umbridge is headmistress, and she's a bitch as usual. But then Snape shows up, and what happens when Snape shows up is pure fanfiction, honestly. Because the way Scorpio talks, I'm just like, how the fuck do you know that, child? Unless you've read all the books, how do you know? Just like, you loved Lily, you blah blah blah, says fucking Scorpius to Snape. And Snape is just like, alright, I am a hero. And then basically everybody sacrificed themselves. Again, Days of Future fucking Past. And he goes back, he changed everything is happy, but then everything's not happy. Because then it is revealed that this Delphi character, which felt so fucking shoehorned in every single time, because I was really invested in Scorpius and Albus. I was just like, ah, you guys are a very cute friendship couple. Delphi is the daughter of Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange. No, that is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard. Delphi is 20-something, which means that they had to do it between like the 5th and the 7th book or something. As soon as they said she's the daughter of Voldemort, I was just like, please, let her just be crazy and imagine things, because that would be better if she's just like, I have a legacy, and she's just a random person trying to bring back Voldemort thinking that he is her father. While I was reading it, I was just like, this is This is not happening. Then the climax of everything is at Godric's Hollow, the night that Voldemort kills Harry's parents. Everyone is there because fucking Draco Malfoy has another time turner that apparently the Malfoy family has had for years, which is such a fucking ex machina that it's so fucking dumb. Harry pretends to be Voldemort, fucking dumb, and he fights Delphi. How on earth did Lily and James not hear a fucking battle at the church? And then Voldemort just strolls along and then kills them, and Harry has to witness his parents. No, what's in the past should be in the past. I don't like time traveling adventures. I don't like the way that they did it here. It makes me feel like J.K. Rowling thought, you know what? I could make a new story, but then again, I have 7 books that I could retread. So why don't I retread the 4th and the 1st book? Oh, and I didn't even mention the whole thing with Delphi. There's some new prophecy. Fucking prophecies and fucking shit. I hate that. It's a world about wizards and magic and all of that. But for some reason, as soon as you time travel, I'm just like, no, I'm out. This is too much. Before I go, I'm gonna talk about Albus and Scorpio. Because throughout this novel, they have fucking feelings for each other. They may not be gay, they can both be bi, I don't care. They have feelings for each other. The way that their friendship is described is such a hint towards something more than fucking friendship. And I guarantee that J.K. Rowling thought, you know, of making them a thing at first, but for some reason she didn't. Like, in the end, it just ends with like Scorpio just like, I'm gonna get with Rose. The way that they talk to each other, the way that they apparently thought about each other in this, like, were you afraid of backlash of making them a couple? Like, why didn't you just do it? Like, it would have made people pissed, but like, it felt so natural, like, in this. You could have just done it, and like, I would have just been like, ah, that's adorable. I wanted to see it. It could have been great for the LGBT, whatever the other letters are. It would have been great to see that kind of representation in Harry Potter. The only thing we have with that is Dumbledore, who is J.K. Rowling said, like, off screen, basically. Oh, he's gay, yeah. He Grindelwald. They even talk about, like, liking girls, too, so they could have both been bisexual. Made me a bit angry, actually. I would have loved to see that representation, but they didn't do it. If me talking about this book, if you thought, like, it felt like I went all over the place, it's because this script also goes all over the place. And I'm sure that if I actually saw the play, if I saw the actors, and if I saw everything happening, my opinion would be completely different. But as of right now, just reading the script, I think it's a bit weak. Just because it has time travel, I don't like time travel, the whole 19 years later thing, and they didn't fucking commit. Made me pissed. I wanted to see them. I wanted to see them being loved. Have you read the script? Have you seen the play? If you have seen the play, please tell me what you thought of the play. I would love to know. If you want me to talk about like a specific thing more in depth about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, I can definitely do that as well. Just tell me so in the comments. But yeah, I'm gonna go now, and Lumos, no, that's how you fucking turn something on.